Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm glad to see all of you here today to celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday. And you know how disappointing when you have invited friends to the birthday party and nobody show up, right? So I'm really glad that you are here today. And Hikaru is so excited to have birthday party for Shakyamuni Buddha too, I guess. So today is the birthday of Shakyamuni Buddha, and he had a lot of these disciples. Okay, and one of the disciples' name was Ananda. And he was also a cousin of Shakyamuni Buddha. Do you have cousins? Do you have cousins? Yeah? Okay. And Ananda had great and exact memory of Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching. It is said Ananda was always with Shakyamuni Buddha and memorized all the teaching of him. Later on, Ananda led Sangha to put the teaching together as sutra. Okay? So we did not have Buddhism teaching without Ananda. Do you know how difficult it is to pass on the words of someone to different person? So to see how difficult it is, I would like to play a game called telephone. Do you know that? Do you know the game? Okay. And I think it's better to have adults first and last, right? So let's start from Mighty. Okay, Mighty over there. Okay. Shall we have everybody inside or we pick somebody? Let's try, huh? Let's try this way. And Mayu-chan is the last one, okay? You have 2 times to remember, okay? To read it and remember, okay? Hi, Mayu-chan, what was the word?
The bunkers ran away.
Okay, and ended up bunkers run away. But actual sentence was, a dog named Moose ran loose through the spruce forest chasing a goose. See, it is really difficult to pass on the words to somebody, right? So because Ananda memorized all the teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha without mistake, we are able to listen to the teaching of Buddha even after over 2,500 years. So let us thank Buddha and also Ananda today for passing the teaching down to us, okay? So let's put our palms together in Gassho and recite Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nammanda Butsu. Nammanda Butsu. Okay, if you want to stay, it's okay. If you want to go back to your seat, it's okay too. Okay. Are you going to stay? Okay. So now, I'd like to share the words of Shinran Shonin from the chapter on Shinjin of his masterwork, Kyogyo Shinshu, the true teaching, practice, and realization. And this is on page 117 of collected works of Shinran. So please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. In the term true disciple of Buddha, true contrast with false and provisional. Disciple indicates a disciple of Shakyamuni and the other Buddhas. This expression refers to the practice who has realized the diamond-like heart and mind. Through this Shinjin and practice, one will without fail transcend and realize great nirvana. Hence, one is called true disciple of Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. So the other day, I read the news saying the eggs found in China remaining intact from the time of Confucius. Okay? Confucius is a person who lived almost the same time as Shakyamuni Buddha. So the eggs are more than 2,500 years old. It's amazing, isn't it, to find the eggs from 2,500 years ago? But we are actually encountering the teaching from 2,500 years ago every week, at least on Sundays. So this is amazing thing too. And I wonder how many people were involved to pass this teaching down to us within this 2,500 years of time. And there was severe suppression of Buddhism in ancient China and in Japan during the transmission of the Buddhist traditions. So when I think about the efforts and sacrifices of our predecessors, I cannot help but feel deep gratitude towards them to handing down this teaching to us. But sometimes people look down the tradition and say they want more contemporary understanding of Buddhism. And I understand the needs of contemporary understanding of Buddhism teachings, but when we think about the predecessors who handed down the tradition to us, we cannot look down the traditions, but we realize that we must strive to keep the tradition alive and hand down the tradition to next generation. And, some people risked or threw their lives to protect the teaching. And there was a Shin priest named Hongwanji-ha in 15th century. He was practicing at the temple, and when the temple got on fire, the priest escaped safely from the temple. But they realized the chapter on teaching of Kyogyo Shinshu, written by Shinran Shonin, is still in the temple. Ryoken jumped into fire and tried to find chapter on teaching. And he found it safely, but couldn't find the way out. So, do you know what he did? He opened his stomach and kept the chapter on teaching from fire. Later, he was found dead, but the chapter on teaching was kept safe. And it was covered by his blood, so the cover of the chapter became red. And it is said, our chanting book cover is red to pay respect to Ryoken, who protected the teaching by throwing his own life. So when we think about the predecessors who tried to keep the tradition alive, I don't think the tradition is something we look down, but it should be respected. And this year, we are fortunate to welcome Gomonshu, Kojun Otangi, in September. And he will conduct affirmation ceremony to give Buddhist names in here, Portland, Seattle, and LA. As I shared once before, a Buddhist name consists of 3 Chinese characters. And this tradition started from the monk named Dawan in 4th century China. And this tradition is kept for about 1700 years. And this is a tradition to become Buddha's disciple, to have self-awareness as Buddhist. Then, what does disciple of Shakyamuni means? What does the meaning of becoming Shakyamuni's disciple, or meaning disciple of Shakyamuni? So this is today's main topic for my message. And according to the dictionary, the word disciple means a follower or pupil, P-U-P-I-L, of a teacher, leader, or a philosopher. And it originates in Latin word disciples, I think disciples. I can't read Latin, so I don't know. Disciples, meaning learner. So the disciple of Shakyamuni means the one who learns from Shakyamuni Buddha. So we disciple of Shakyamuni follow the guidance of Shakyamuni Buddha. So as the legend said, Shakyamuni Buddha walked 7 steps right after the birth. Don't argue, okay? We don't have to believe that he actually walked 7 steps right after birth. It's impossible, right? But we need to know what the 7th step refers to. And 7th step refers to the Buddhism teaching, which transcends 6 realms. 6 realms of suffering. Okay? And 7th step means we are transcending the 6 realm of suffering and attaining nirvana. So the Buddhism teaching is a teaching to attain nirvana. And Shakyamuni Buddha wished for the disciple to attain nirvana through accepting the guidance from the Buddhas. And the disciple looked for the attainment of nirvana. And those who follow the teaching to attain nirvana is the disciple of Shakyamuni. So if the Eightfold Noble Path works for you, that's okay. If 6 parameter works for you to attain nirvana, that's okay too. But these practices choose people's ability. And Shakyamuni Buddha taught the path of Nembutsu in the Raja Sutra for the ordinary people to attain nirvana. And the cause of our attainment is on the Buddha's side for the path of Nembutsu. And it does not choose people's ability so that we unfailingly attain nirvana. So Shinran Shonin calls the people who follow the teaching of Nembutsu as the true disciple of Shakyamuni, because we unfailingly attain nirvana. And Shinran Shonin spent few pages to describe what the true disciple of Buddha is on Collected Works of Shinran, your favorite book. And if you are interested, please see page 117 through 124. But in conclusion, Shinran Shonin says the practitioner of Nembutsu is same as future Buddha, Maitreya. And he quotes few passages from the commentaries of monks from China, the Raja Sutra, and he says, truly we know that because Mahasattva Maitreya has perfectly realized the diamond-like mind of the sage equal to enlightenment, he will without fail attain the stage of supreme enlightenment beneath a dragonflower tree at the dawn of the 3 assemblies. Because sentient beings of the Nembutsu have perfectly realized the diamond-like mind of crosswise transcendence, they transcend and realize great complete nirvana on the eve of the moment of death. So this is a little difficult passage to understand, but simply Shinran Shonin is saying that Maitreya is guaranteed to attain enlightenment in next life. And the practitioner of Nembutsu is able to attain enlightenment, nirvana, when we pass away. So this Nembutsu path is a path leads people to nirvana without fail. So we are being same as the future Buddha, Maitreya. So that is why we, practitioner of Nembutsu, is the true disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha. And the Buddhist names gives us the self-awareness as Buddhist, awareness as disciple of Buddha. And this is a path to listen to the guidance of the Buddha within Nembutsu. And this is a path of self-reflection to rethink our daily behavior through accepting the guidance of Buddha within Nembutsu. Okay, so on this occasion of Hanamatsuri, birthday of Shakyamuni Buddha, please once again reflect on how the tradition has handed down to us. And please remember the Shakyamuni Buddha's wish for us to attain nirvana through accepting the guidance of Buddha within Nembutsu. And I will probably put it on the newsletter next month, but we are having Gomonshu come to perform affirmation ceremony, so I will put the detail on the newsletter next month. So please read carefully. Okay, so thank you all for coming today. And in closing, please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. In the term, true disciple of Buddha, true contrast with false and provisional. Disciple indicates a disciple of Shakyamuni and the other Buddhas. This expression refers to the practice who has realized the diamond-like heart and mind. Through this shinjin and practice, one will without fail transcend and realize great nirvana. Hence, one is called true disciple of Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namman Dabutsu. Namman.